Have you ever been in a situation where you're trying to assess a wound and it feels like no matter what you do, you're not capturing the full picture? You're not alone. Wound assessment can be tricky, but it's also one of the most critical steps in creating a care plan that works. Today, we're breaking it all down, making wound assessment clear, simple, and actionable. For those who don't know me, my name is Dr. Voltaire, the wound doc, and over the years, I've assessed and treated hundreds of wounds, from small scrapes to complex pressure ulcers. I've seen firsthand how proper documentation and precise measurement can make the difference between a wound that heals and one that doesn't. By the end of this video, you'll have a step-by-step process to assess wounds like a pro and ensure nothing gets missed. Let's dive in. When we talk about assessing a wound, we're not just looking at the surface. Think of it like investigating a mystery. You're gathering clues to understand the full story. This starts with location. Be as specific as possible. So instead of saying left leg, say inner left calf, 3 inches above the ankle. Precise details ensure anyone treating the wounds after knows exactly where to focus their attention. Then there's size. This isn't just about eyeballing, it's about measuring it accurately. Use a sterile ruler to measure the length, width, and depth of the wound. Always measure in centimeters. The length is head to toe at the longest point, and the width is side to side at the widest point, perpendicular to the length. Find the deepest point of the wound and measure straight down. Now let's talk about something that's often missed: tunneling and undermining. These aren't just technical terms, they're crucial details that tell you how extensive a wound really is. Tunneling is like a narrow passageway that extends from the wound's base into the deeper tissue. So imagine an underground tunnel that isn't visible on the surface. Undermining, on the other hand, is when the edges of the wound extend under intact skin. Think of it like an overhang on a cliff. It's what you don't see at first glance that matters. To document tunneling or undermining, use a clock format. Picture the head of the patient at 12 o'clock and the feet at 6 o'clock. If tunneling extends from the wound at 3 o'clock for 4 centimeters, that's exactly how you document it. This clarity prevents surprises later and ensures the wound gets right care. Assessing the wound itself is just one piece of the puzzle. Surrounding skin tells you so much about what's happening beneath the surface. Is the skin pink, red, or pale? Is there swelling or warmth? These details aren't just cosmetic. They're signs of how well blood and oxygen are reaching the area. And remember, signs like maceration or excoriation can indicate that the wound environment needs adjustment, whether it's less moisture or more protection. Next up, drainage and odor. It may sound unpleasant, but these are key clues. Look at the amount of exudate. Is it scant, moderate, or copious? And the color matters too. Clear and watery, that's serous. Pale pink, that's serous sanguinis. But thick, yellow, or green, that's purulent and likely a sign of infection. Odor can also be revealing. A musty smell could point to bacteria, while a sweet odor may indicate a certain type of infection, like Pseudomonas. Now that you know the steps, let's talk about applying them in a real-life scenario. Imagine you're treating a patient with a pressure ulcer. You start with the location, so sacrum midline extending 6 centimeters laterally. Then you measure length of 8 centimeters, width of 6 centimeters, depth of 2.5 centimeters. You note undermining at 12 o'clock for 3 centimeters and tunneling at 6 o'clock for 4 centimeters. The wound edges are unattached and the base shows 70% granulation tissue and 30% slough. Drainage is moderate and serous sanguinis with no odor. The surrounding skin is pink and slightly warm and intact. Documenting like this doesn't just make you thorough, it gives your patient the best chance for healing. Documentation isn't just about keeping records, it's about continuity of care. If a patient sees multiple providers, your note ensures that everyone is on the same page. And in a legal or insurance setting, accurate documentation protects you and your patient. Let me share something super exciting. If you're a provider who's passionate about improving wound care, check out the WoundFit community. It's a place that I created where we share resources, tips, and case studies to make wound care easier and more effective. The link is in the description. Wound assessment doesn't have to be overwhelming. By focusing on the details, documenting precisely, and looking at the bigger picture, you can transform the way wounds are treated. And remember, every detail you note can be the difference between a wound that heals and one that doesn't. Thanks for watching, and if you're ready to dive deeper, check out my next video on wound dressing techniques. Stay informed and heal well.